Good morning. My name is Enid Hibbert. That's my husband, Barry Hibbert, and we're going to ask you some questions about your mining experience, if that's all right.
Okay.
Could you tell me your name and where and when you were born, please?
Yeah, my name's Meek. I was born in 1958 on the 22nd of June. That's Martin with a Y.
Right, we'll change it. Is there anything that you don't want to talk about today?
No, there's no problem.
If there is.
Yeah, I might not be able to remember everything, but
Yeah.
anything I can answer, yes, no problem.
Thank you.
And where were you born?
I was born in Nottingham.
Actually,
in Nottingham City Hospital, but I'm actually a Derbyshire person because I've always lived in Derbyshire from the first day I was born.
Yeah.
So.
How did you get into the mining industry in the first place?
When I left school, I did try an apprenticeship for electrician, but it didn't suit me. And then I worked at a butcher's for approximately 3 months, and then I joined the mining industry. That's it, lads.
Are there any other national or local events that you've experienced connected to mining? Or
No, because once I'd finished with the mines, I found other employment and just left the mining industry, you know, as the past. And it wasn't until a few years ago that Eric Eden and along with other people started the Retirement Miners Association, and that's when I got back into the National Union of Mine Workers.
Oh, can you tell us something about that then?
Yeah, Eric and others felt it was good that old miners that was in the National Union of Mine Workers could go somewhere and talk to people about any problems, where they could listen to and be friendly, i.e. like we're doing today. So that, from my particular point of view, is fantastic what they've done, and I do believe that they've been going about 10 years now.
What groups do you speak to?
This is my first group I've ever spoke to. I've done the one more, which was a school, because they've got a set and loads of props where they set a coal face up and bring all the picks and shovels, so all the young people can look at them and ask the questions about different things. They're allowed to put mining uniforms on, etc., gloves, safety aspects, dust masks if they want to, lights, and they're allowed to do anything within reason, obviously, because health and safety, we have to watch them, and then they can ask any questions. And then what we do at the end, we give them a little bit of coal, because not many of them seen coal, because there isn't that many coal fires, and a lot of people really don't know how coal is formed, you know, and so we tell them how it was formed, and they're quite interested.
Do you find that the children are interested?
Yeah.
Very interested in this.
Yeah.
They come up with lots of questions.
Yeah, I mean it's a mixture. Majority of them do. Some of them, obviously, it's a plaything, you know, and they're more excited about dressing up than they are asking questions. But no, they do ask questions. I presume with some of them, they probably mums and dads have worked down the pit, or the great granddads and etc. And yeah, some of them are really, really, you know, surprised with some of the answers that we give them.
Are there any particular memorable experiences that you've had since you've left work connected with the coal industry, presumably working with the children and going round is one of them. You feel this is very important for children to know and for others to know?
Yeah, I think it's so easy nowadays to forget about history and how people used to be, because we're going through a rough time as a country, apparently, but I don't think it's nowhere near as rough as what it was in the 30s, 20s, etc. And for young children, because they were children, 12, 13, were sent down the mines, you know, and to make them realise that was, that, you know, that happened in them days. It's good to talk about things like that.
And what were the conditions in the housing when you were growing up in a mining community?
Well, luckily for myself, when I was at the mines, obviously we had showers, but obviously the miners before that had the tin baths, and obviously they have the tin bath in front of the fire, and I look back and I think, how would I have gone on? Well, I suppose you have to adapt. Having a shower is a lot easier.
And was there a canteen at the pit that you were
Yes,
at?
there was a canteen as well. Yeah, yeah. You did get looked after, but obviously that's not always been the case. Up until 1973-74, miners had to buy their own equipment, like boots, shovels, stuff like that. But obviously after 1974, I believe, then the National Coal Board, as it was then, supplied you with as many safety things as they possibly could.
So you think the National Coal Board improved mining as opposed to it being owned by private companies?
I think the difference is, and we've seen it in the last few months, is when up until 1974, and the miners went on strike for the National Union of Mine Workers, and got us better working terms and conditions. I forgot what I'm going to say now, but that did good for the old, and then obviously they were negotiated with the National Coal Board. So yeah, definitely between the National Coal Board and definitely the National Union of Mine Workers, because without them, I don't think the mining industry would have gone forward.
I've just wondered at this point if you can remember what you earned from your first wage packet as a miner.
I can't remember exactly, but I think it was something about £43, £44
A week?
a week, which my job before that was £25, so that was like nearly double my wages.
And were there a lot of stoppages on that?
There was automatically your union fees, because it was like a closed shop, everybody had to join the union, which was good anyway, and the miners' pension scheme, you know, you couldn't opt out of that, which was another good thing, you know. So yeah, there were stoppages in those two areas, plus your tax.
And did you get the coal allowance?
Yeah, I got the coal allowance, but I didn't get that up until I was, I think it was 21. You got to be an homeowner. I couldn't get it from my mum and dad. I think I'm right in saying that.
And how much coal did you have per year when you started?
I believe you got 4 loads a year, every 3 months. I could be wrong there, but that's what I seem to remember. So you got 4 loads, which would be probably about 18 bags.
And that would be part of your wages, and that was something that they, in the end, got for.
Yeah, that was extra. You know what I mean? You got your coal allowance, and also, which going slightly off the subject, but when I swapped pits, you got to transfer money as well for inconvenience. Yeah.
Was that to pay for a move from your house, or just for moving from one pit to the other?
Yeah, it's just moving from one pit to the other. You may have been lucky and got one nearer to your home, but you still got about £1,200. It was called for inconvenience, you know, because obviously it altered your pattern, and obviously the pit that you had, you know, you was in comfortably with the shifts, but you could go to the new pit and the shifts could be completely different.
And were all the people working in the pit local people, or did people come from the outside to work?
There was mostly local within, I should say about a 5 mile radius. Now and again you'd got one, you know, that lived probably in Nottingham, but no, majority of it was local.
Not from other parts of the country?
No,
coming?
no.
Do you keep in touch with your ex-colleagues? Perhaps you've covered this, but...
Not particularly, no, because everybody has like moved on. Now the 13 miners, part of the 13 miners I went to strike with, I probably see one of them now, and the rest that worked at the pits, very few I see, because obviously when I started the mine I was just a young lad, and now I'm 53, and a lot of the miners that I grew up with have passed away probably. You know, so it's, no, I don't see that many.
Can you tell me if you remember the Bolsover dragonfly being discovered, because at the Crags they're going to do a project about the Bolsover dragonfly. It was a fossil of a dragonfly that
Right.
was found in the pit. Did you find anything similar, or?
Yeah, I mean there's lots of fossils down the mines, and it used to find them in the stone, not in the coal so much, but definitely in the stone. Yeah, you'd get leaves, you get like just, but I don't know about insects. I've never seen any insects.
No.
But yeah, you definitely got things like leaves in there, yeah, and probably bark. That's.
Well, thank you for your time, for talking to us. Is there anything that you would like to ask about the project that's happening here?
Well, I don't know too much about it. Obviously, Eric rang me a few weeks ago, saying that I might have to be interviewed, so I didn't know what particularly you were going to ask me and everything. And if you're part of the Crags, me and Eric's just had a walk round, and it, you know, up until I want to know this place existed, and it looks as though, to me, it's one hell of a place.
It certainly is.
And I think a lot of people, and I'm one of them, I go abroad for my holidays, and just to come to places like this and walk round, you know, where the ducks are and the reservoir and the hanging cliffs there, I think, yeah, fantastic.
It really is, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think it'd be, there's a breakdown somewhere that you don't get to find out about these places, and it'd be good locally. I'm just on about Cresswell, but I'm on about Derbyshire, Nottinghamshire, it says. Come and have a look at this, or because I'd never heard of it until today.
Well, perhaps I could just explain that we are local to Cresswell.
Right.
And we're part of the Elkton with Cresswell Local History Group. So whatever you've told us will be saved, if you agree. And it's very useful for people to hear your experience, not only now, but in the future, because the mining industry is almost over now, really, isn't it, in England?
Yeah.
And so it will be very useful for people coming after us to know and to learn about it. So thank you very much.
No problem, thank you.